Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And you just want to go out and reach and hit that like button right now. There we go. And while you're there, if you're yet to hit the subscribe button, hit that as well. We have a story which is absolutely delicious in its irony. We all know throughout the COVID whole of the pandemic and that in order to hide the truth from the Scottish people, the SNP hierarchy all used burner phones. Easily disposable. People can say things on there and then they've all magically disappeared and there's no evidence or proof, and therefore they will never ever face justice. It's a marvellous device. Just buy it, pay as you go, no one ever needs know. Ka-ching. And you become invisible in terms of data, what you say, things you do. That's the way to do it. No record. No record, if you know what I mean. No record of what you said, no criminal record. And so it is a marvellous idea, given that now hate speech is going to be monitored and marked up and, punished. And so what's happening is that women's rights groups, For Women Scotland and such like that, are all going out and they're buying burner phones. Not in their name, of course, just cheap, anonymous burner phones, so that they can keep track, can contact, say the things they need to say, and that no one will ever know, no one will ever be able to say who's who. There'll never be any proof. And of course, who hates this? Well, the SNP government for one, because they don't like the idea of people being off the grid, of hiding who they are, hiding what they're saying, not having the evidence available for prosecution. You couldn't make it up. Let's take a look. So women's rights activists are buying burner phones due to fears over the new hate crime law, because they've looked at what the SNP have done and said, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do exactly what they've done. And that way we can never be held to account. No one will ever know. There's nothing linking me to it. One prominent campaigner fears the hate legislation will be used to target gender-critical women who believe biology is immutable. That isn't a belief, it's a fact. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. It won't change whether you believe it or not. It's true. Women's rights activists are buying burner phones as Scotland's new hate crime legislation comes into effect. It can be revealed. Grassroots feminists have snapped up the no-frills devices amid fears of mass reporting to Police Scotland by trans activists, who've been encouraged by police chiefs' pledge to investigate every single hate crime allegation, even though they will be mostly the ones that are doing it. Burner phones can be bought with cash and no contract, offering temporary anonymity for undercover chats. Claire Blom of Women Won't Wished, a campaign group that champions single-sex spaces amid the toxic gender wars, confirmed that feminist activists have been buying burner phones to communicate between themselves. She said it is unconscionable that in a modern Scotland, the home of the Enlightenment, women feel forced to take draconian measures to protect themselves from an overreaching Orwellian piece of legislation. We wish we were able to tell women that these measures are excessive, but we've already seen activists state that they will be reporting hate speech against anyone who dares speak out against gender ideology. Well, all you trans weirdos, report me. You're men. Got the old penis? And I tell you what, when you're bending over a desk and a doctor's shoving his finger right up to test your prostate, you'll remember then that you're not a lady. She said it's indefensible that free speech in Scotland is being curtailed to the point where women are frightened to say that men are not women and that women need spaces free from men. It is even more outrageous, she said, that feminists who are routinely bullied and harassed, even assaulted by men at our events, are afforded no protection whatsoever under this very legislation. They can't afford to protect women. Protecting women damages the message, the agenda, damages everything they do. If women were allowed, you'd be able to say, no, we have a woman's space, not men, no men. We are protecting women, biological women. And that, of course, is not what they want. They want the other women, the ones with testicles to go in, the ones who pretend to be women. Call me Susan. with my Adam's apple, my big manly hands, and my 3-day stubble. No, Susan, your name's Bill. You're a builder, and you're a bit of a weirdo. Now get out of here. I'm trying to take my knickers off. Literally, that's what this is. Outspoken campaigner Kelly J. Keane, aka Posey Parker, do recommend if you go and watch her. She's crack on. She is totally on the ball with this. She will bring a Let Women Speak rally to Edinburgh on Saturday, April the 6th. She fears that hate legislation will be used to target gender-critical women who believe biology is immutable. She said, "It's what we all anticipated would come. Many women across Scotland who I've spoken to are talking about having burner phones so they can talk and have conversations about men and about the fears they have about this particular bill." Now, these women, they don't hate men. Not at all. Most of them are married. Most of them love men. There's some lesbians, I'm sure. But even lesbians have male friends. It's not the men, that, of course, that are the problem. It's the mentally ill men. It's the mentally ill men who like to dress up and get all gynophilic and get a little hard on for putting on a pair of frillies. They're the men that are dangerous. They're the ones who want to go into female spaces and expose themselves. These are the men who call themselves transitioning but have no intention to ever have their balls and cock hacked off. These are the men that dress in all these clothes, put their lippy on, totter down the high street in a pair of slingbacks, but always insist that they're lesbians. They're not lesbians, of course. They're heterosexual men with a dress fixation. Literally, mental problems, not sexual deviance. Well, they are. They generally tend. We've seen the record. 12 times more likely to be sex offenders. 12 times. So, yeah, they're not necessarily as innocent as they seem. And I'm not tarring them all with the same brush. But you really absolutely have to be aware. And definitely keep them well away from children. So, well done, Kelly J. Key. Well done to all of them. Women Won't Wish, Let Women Speak, all these people. Good on you. Get your burner phones. Follow the lead of Sturgeon and all the others. Make sure that you don't get caught. And stick the finger up to these people. They're lower than the lowest. They absolutely are. They're very, very strange mentally ill men who absolutely loathe women. Weird, isn't it? Coming up. I think perhaps not just women. I think everyone really ought to have a little burner phone, a little bit of secret that they can communicate by, just to keep the authorities off their back. The authorities, of course, hate it. They absolutely loathe the idea that people can communicate and they are unaware. But that's the world they are creating. They are instilling this filth, this hate, this division into society. So why shouldn't people take measures to obviate this problem, to walk away from it, to hide what they're saying, so that they cannot be prosecuted for what is normal people doing normal things and saying normal things and saying facts. They're trying to criminalise facts. That is just weird, isn't it? It's the sort of thing a theocracy, a religious-led nation does. They hide the facts because the facts are inconvenient. The facts don't agree with their weird, screwed up religions. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will speak to you later. Thank you very much. Bye.